Hey YouTube, so we are doing a flagpole run. Flagpole is one of the green trails that is very commonly used in Northern Virginia to recruit new Jeepers. We are on the lake side headed up to Flagpole, so that would be on that map that you see in the corner, the upper side where you're going down to the little star. And what is really kind of interesting about this long green trail that we're going up is the amount of elevation we're going up. So Flagpole Knob is at elevation 4,190 feet. And between the lake and the flagpole, the elevation change happens to be 2,333 feet. And I know that because I had Maprica running and it was tracking the elevation change. So it's actually a pretty steep grade. Now, it took us obviously a couple hours to go all the way up it, so it wasn't like we were going straight up a hill. But it is a pretty big elevation change when you think about it. And then, going down to the base of Union Springs, believe it or not, the base of Union Springs is only 1,856 feet below the top of Flagpole Knob. So the base at Union Springs is not as low as the lake where we are down. Kind of interesting facts. So anyway, my point is you're going to notice a big change in the background. So there you see some snow on the ground, and obviously as you change elevation and it's middle of winter, things get colder. And so here we're starting to see snow obviously going up in the mountains, so that's kind of interesting. And what's even more interesting is the trail actually starts to become covered with ice. And you'll see at the end of the day, I actually went topless. It was 60 degrees out, almost in some of the different spots. However, up here at the higher elevation, obviously there's all this snow on the ground, and it starts becoming actually pretty icy. And we actually stop in one spot, and some Jeeps start sliding down, not down the mountain, but down the trail a little bit, which was kind of a little worrisome, I guess, for them. And anyway, I'm just showing it is interesting. So that does add a little bit more interest to the trail. That you can be in what seems like like a warm area, and then all of a sudden you can be in a snowy area on the exact same trail. And then later on you'll see we get back to a warm area, and then it gets even warmer. So here we are. We're going to wait for everybody to kind of catch up and make it through all the little icy areas. Yeah, so for new Jeepers, obviously four-wheel drive helps. That's kind of obvious. The other thing that isn't quite so obvious is going to lower gears helps out. And even if you have automatic, and I've had people tell me that they can't shift to lower gears. You push the shifter left or right, typically, and that will actually put you in a lower gear, even in automatic. And you can see here all the ice that we all of a sudden have encountered. There are a few obstacles that we are going to go across before we make it to the Flagpole Knob, to the actual lookout. And this is actually considered a ranger fire lookout, although there is no lookout up here. It's just like a big flat area. Typically when I think lookout, I think that they have like a wooden structure or tower that you can climb up, and they don't have one of those. It's just kind of like an area that's high enough elevation that you can see over the other mountains in the area. And most likely that's because they probably knocked some trees down to make it so it's easier to see over the trees. So we're just about to get to the obstacle, and once again, don't blink to miss the obstacle. And I'll slow down the video when we get there, just so you can see the very small obstacle. And once again, this is a green trail. It's not meant to be a blue trail or a black trail or anything challenging by any means. And this is the trail that a lot of Jeep clubs use to encourage people to go out in nature and use their Jeep rather than just going to the mall with their Jeep. So here we are. Here's the obstacle. It's on the left. There is a bypass, and the bypass is on the right. And if you don't know what a bypass is or understand what they're for, I'll link a video in the corner explaining what bypasses are for and how to use them. But the bypass is directly in front of us if you don't want to do this. And it's just a little up and down. So you see I just kind of go up, jump down, and then continue. And we will get the other Jeeps behind us to go through this, and you'll be able to watch them do it. Once again, you just want to use a little bit of gas, a little bit of throttle to get up it. Not anything too ridiculous. And just methodical movements, and you'll get up it. And once again, you want to use momentum to get up it. And momentum meaning if you start to slow down, you want to speed up, and if you start moving too fast, you want to slow down a little bit. I'll link in the corner maybe like a video that I had where I discussed momentum. For everybody here, you can see nobody's having any problems with that obstacle. Yeah, I do see a couple people kind of hitting the skids on the bottom of their Jeep, and mainly that just has to do with compressing the shocks because they're going over it so fast. So maybe like right when you get to the top, before you let the front wheels drop down, just don't like slow down on the top of it. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Hey YouTube, so this is the top of Flagpole Knob. We made it up here. These are all our Jeeps behind us. This is Flagpole Knob behind me. I'm just going to turn around a little bit slowly so you can see it. And this is where everybody comes up to if they're in Virginia and they want to do a little quick little Jeep run. This is what we have. We don't really have like aoaa or Roush or any of that kind of coolness in our backyard. So anyway, this is Flagpole Knob.